Saksi ang maraming gusali sa ating kasaysayan. Nakaukit sa mga haligi nito ang mga alaala ng nagdaang henerasyong hinubog ng panahon. Kung nakapagsasalita lamang ang sahig at dingding nito, anong kwento kaya ang ibubulong nito mula sa ating nakaraan? Ang mga gusali ay isa sa mga mahalagang pamana sa kultura. Ito ang tulay na nagdurugtong sa atin mula sa kasalukuyan patungo sa nakaraan. Ako si Junroy Volante. Samahan niyo akong tuklasin ang mga kwento sa likod ng makasaysayang mga struktura ng ilan sa mga paaralan sa lungsod Naga. Isa ang Gabaldon Building sa mga strukturang itinuturing na pamana ng kasaysayan. Taong 1907, sa bisa ng Republic Act 1801, nagsimulang magpatayo ng mga gusali sa mga pampublikong paaralan sa bansa. Ang Gabaldon ay hango sa pangalan ni Isauro Gabaldon, na dating kinatawan ng Nueva Ecija sa Pambansang Asembleya ng Pilipinas. Siya ang nagpasa ng nasabing batas na naglaan ng 1 milyong piso para sa pagpapatayo ng mga gusaling pampaaralan mula taong 1907 hanggang 1915. Si William Parsons, architect ng Bureau of Public Works mula 1905 hanggang 1915, panahon ng Commonwealth, ang nagdisenyo ng mga gusali na bahagyang nakaangat sa lupa at may mga silid-aralan sa tabi ng isang bukas na bulwagan. Inihalintulad ni Parson sa bahay kubo ang disenyo nito. Gawa sa kahoy ang buong gusali, maliban sa bubong na gawa sa yero. Mataas ang kisame nito, malawak ang mga bintana na gawa sa kapis at maluwag ang mga pasilyo. Ang malalaking bintana nito ay iniakma sa mainit na klima sa Pilipinas, upang malayang nakapapasok ang hangin sa loob. Sa gitna ng mabilis na modernisasyon sa lungsod Naga, mayroong 4 na paaralang nagsisilbing tahanan ng ilan sa mga natitirang Gabaldon Building sa bansa. Matatagpuan ang mga ito sa Santa Cruz Elementary School, Tinago Central School, Naga Central School 1, at Camarines National High School.
Ang Gabaldon Building po ay mahalaga sa cultural heritage ng ating bansa. Ito ang sumisimbolo ng pinaghalong bahay kubo at bahay bato. Kaya kailangang ipreserba ang Gabaldon para sa susunod na henerasyon, para makita ng mga kabataan ang ating nakaraan. Through the years, ang Gabaldon Building na ito ay nagsilbing classroom, principal's office, at library ng aming paaralan. Kaya malaking silbi po ang building na ito sa aming paaralan.
Ang gusali ng Gabaldon ng paaralan ay ang aming simbolo ng awtoridad. Malugod nitong tinatanggap ang aming mga mag-aaral, magulang at bisita kapag pumapasok sila sa bakuran ng aming paaralan. Ang Tinago Central School na itinatag noong 1928. At ang gusali Gabaldon ay ang unang permanenteng struktura na itinayo para sa paaralan. Simula noon, tinatanggap nito at nasaksiyan nito ang paglago ng libu-libong mga mag-aaral. Nagtiis ito ng maraming kalamidad tulad ng bagyo, baha at lindol. Ngayon, ginagamit ito bilang isang pang-administratibong tanggapan, silid-aralan at bulwagan ng maraming layunin.
Ang paaralang sentral ng lungsod ng Naga ay isa sa pinakamatandang paaralan dito sa lungsod. Ang paaralan ito ay mabanat sapagkat nabigyan kami ng Gabaldon, isa sa pinaka matibay, na masasabi natin matibay na gusali. At ayon sa kasaysayan, ang gusaling gabaldon na ito ay naitatag noong 2018 na kung saan dahil nga sa kautusan ng ating pamahalaan na i-preserve yung mga gabaldon building, yan. Kaya bago na ang kanyang struktura, subalit hindi pa rin inalis yung pinaka-original na struktura ng gusaling ito. So, sa ngayon, ang mga silid ay ginagamit pa rin o nagsisilbing aralan ng mga mag-aaral dito sa lungsod ng Naga. Ang iba naman ay mga tanggapan na ng iba't ibang asignatura.
Ilang minutong lakaran mula sa kinatatayuan ko, matatagpuan naman ang Gabaldon Building sa isa sa pinakamalaking public secondary school sa buong Pilipinas, ang Camarines National High School. Ang kinatawan ng ambos Camarines sa una at ikalawang Philippine Assembly noong 1907 na si Tomas Arejola ang nagsilbing instrumento upang maisakatuparan ang pagpapatayo ng Gabaldon sa Camarines National High School na dating Camarines High School. Dalawang Gabaldon ang matatagpuan sa nasabing paaralan, may isang palapag na gusali at may dalawang palapag na nakaharap sa pangunahing tarangkahan ng paaralan.
Ang unang-una ay ilagay natin sa konteksto ng history. Ang paaralang tinatag ng mga Amerikano ay nangyari dahil sa pagdating dito ng mga natawag natin mga Thomasites, mga professional teachers na pinag-recruit ng American colonial government sa Pilipinas dahil sa pangangailangan nila ng mga professional na mga teachers. Kailangan talaga nakita ng panahon ng mga Amerikano na nangangailangan talaga ng mas matino, mas presentable na building na functional para sa mga estudyante na hindi apektado ng klima ng Pilipinas. Parating may bagyo, parating umuulan. So, kailangan natin ng mas magandang struktura. Ito ang naisipan ni Isauro Gabaldon, isang mestizo Espanyol na member ng Philippine Legislature ng 1907. Isa sa mga unang mga bills or mga legislations na pinag-file niya ay ang magkaroon ng allocation ang pamahalaang Amerikano ng mahalagang pera para sa pagpapagawa ng mga buildings na devoted na sa lamang sa mga paaralang at tinatawag na natin ngayon na Gabaldon Building to honor the one who sponsored this particular legislation. Kaya isang malaking legacy ito sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas, itong Gabaldon Building. At dito sa Camarines High School, maswerte tayo dahil meron tayong buildings na ganito na hindi na lang yung typical na Gabaldon Building na maliit, pero meron tayong imposing na Gabaldon Building na napakalaki at dalawang floors ang struktura nito. So,
Noong ikalawang digmaang pandaigdig, ang mga sundalong Hapones sa ilalim ni Coronel Isabashi ay ginamit ang pangunahing gusaling Gabaldon bilang himpilan, kung saan pwersahan nilang pinaamin ang mga nahuling Filipino-Amerikano bago ilipat sa Ateneo de Naga upang ikulong at pahirapan.
Building. Nang pumasok ang mga Hapon, dahil nga sa napakalawak ng lugar na ito, isa to sa mga pinag-occupy nila at naging isang major na military installation ng mga Hapones. Katulad ng, for example, ng Ateneo de Naga na naging concentration camp. Pero by 1944, dumami yung presensya ng mga Hapones dito. In fact, I think it's around 17,000 to about 20,000 yung mga Japanese na pumunta dito. Imagine if you have a population ng mga sundalong mga 17 to 20,000 na Japanese. Ang Naga would be overcrowded with soldiers. By April 9, nilusob na ng mga guerrilla led by your very own alumnus, Juan Q. Miranda. Siya ang naging overall composite officer buong mga guerrilla units dito sa Camarines Sur, siya ang naging leader, siya ang elected na leader. Kaya nung pumasok sila dito sa Naga, pinag-liberate nila ang Naga, halos yung mga Hapon dito ay tumakas na. Kaya nga, in a way, na-spare itong lugar na ito at yung mga buildings dito, hindi masyadong nag-suffer ng grabing damages. Of course, merong damage kasi naghulog ng mga bomba rin dito. In fact, I remember right, merong isang bombang nahulog dito sa lugar na ito sa Camarines High School. Pero hindi masyadong naggrabe dahil walang masyadong open fighting dito nangyari. Kasi ang laban na Major Miranda doon sa may Ateneo at dito sa may tulay na ito sa may Magsaysay, sa may Peña Francia, patungo doon sa may other side ng road nito.
Ang isang palapag na gusaling gabaldon ay napinsala noong panahon ng digmaan. Dumaan ito sa rehabilitasyon sa ilalim ng Philippine Rehabilitation Act o War Damage Act of 1946 na may laang pondo mula sa gobyerno ng Estados Unidos.
Ang Gabaldon Building ay isang mahalagang relic ng American era architecture sa Bicol region at sa Pilipinas. At dahil dito, ito ay nagiging paalala sa atin ng mahalagang bahagi ng kasaysayan natin sa ilalim ng administrasyong Amerikano na ang edukasyon natin, ang sistema ng demokrasya ay dito hinubog sa building ng Gabaldon. Kaya ito'y bahagi ng buhay at kasaysayan ng mga Bicolano. Ito'y connection din natin sa isang bahagi ng ating buhay kung saan ang ating mga ninuno ay naging bahagi ng kanilang pagpayabong ng kanilang kaalaman. Gabaldon Building plays a crucial role in this celebration as it becomes the monument of history of the American regime. By way of the Gabaldon Building, the memory of the American regime continues to be alive in the life of the present Bicolanos and Filipinos in general, today and the coming generation, as long as the Gabaldon Building stands.
Sa pagdaan ng panahon, piping saksi ang Gabaldon Building sa iba't ibang kwento ng paghubog ng kaalaman at pagpanday sa pagkatao ng mga nagdaang henerasyon ng high schoolano.
Pina-repair ka agad. Pero yung Gabaldon na yan, may ground floor yan, may underground yan eh. Parang mga room by room. Noon nga, naglalaro kami dyan, nababa kami, nalaro. Diyan ang sayawan namin dyan pag junior and senior ball. Ang saya-saya dyan sa Gabaldon na yan. Pero sa ibaba, classroom namin yan. Kami, we enjoy so much. Naglalaro kami dyan pag vacation. Umaakit kami sa kisame. Yung kisame na yan, nandyan nakatira yung mga paniki. Ginagawa namin, yung may butas dyan, doon nalabas. Lalagay namin ng sako. Halos kalahating sako na kukuha namin. Ngayon, ginagawa namin yung pulutan, aadobo. Ang sarap ng paniki, pero ipinagbawal na yun dahil nawawala na. Pero hanggang ngayon mayroon dyan sa kamay. Pag 6 o'clock, lalabas na yan eh. Kayong mga mag-graduate ngayon, kailangan magsalingoy ka mo sa pinanggalingan ninyo. Yun ang dapat na advice ko sa mga bagong graduate. Do not forget your alma mater.
Yung mga memorya ko dito sa Gabaldon Building, kung babalikan ko, napakasaya kasi nga, ito napakasignifikanteng lugar. Kasi ang dami namin kumuha ng exam noon, siguro mga less than 1,000. Tapos dito sa stage na to, ang daming mga palabas ang nakita ko mula dun sa mga palatuntunan. Tapos nung high school, 4th year high school ako, ginawa ito yung naging classroom namin noon with Mr. Yolando Pilapil sa Practical Arts, kung saan ito ay ginawang poultry. Pag nakita mo itong building na to, isipin mo kaagad na yan ay ang kamhay. Yan ang building kung saan labas-masok na napakaraming estudyante na umabot ng almost 12,000.
Sir, magandang araw po. Pinaunahan tayo ng gurong-guro ng Camarines National High School na si Ginoong Sulpicio si Alvarez upang ipakita sa atin ang kasalukuyang gamit ng Gabaldon Building sa ngayon. Tara.
So, Gabaldon dati naman natin ito ay classrooms. Kaya lang sa ngayon, may mga opisina na dito. So, itong parting ito, makikita mo na may parang mezzanine siya. Ano? Ito yung nasa higher. And then, makikita mo rin na meron siyang underground. Punta tayo sa magbabang parte. Makikita natin.
So, sa kinatatayuan natin ngayon, dito raw mismo, ikinukulong yung mga Pilipinong sundalo at mga Amerikano para i-interrogate, pahirapan, i-torture, bago ilipat doon sa atin ngayong dinagat upang ikulong at patayin, ugutan ng ulam. So napaka-makasaysayan talaga ng Gabaldon dito.
Ito yung klase ng classroom noon. Kaya lang ngayon ay ginagawa natin yung sorting area para sa distribution na natin ng mobile na yun. Pag regularly may face-to-face, ito yung klase, yung pagkalaki ng classroom. Pag tinignan mo ay maluwang as compared doon sa regular classroom ngayon. Nandito rin yung guidance office. Meron tayo ditong 6 na guidance counselor. 7 sila lahat actually. And sa bandang dito ay yung medical natin, yung clinic natin. Meron tayong doctor, medical doctor. Meron din tayong dentist. And may nurse tayo para magbigay ng tulong sa pangangailangan ng medical ng mga estudyante at ng mga kaguruan natin dito sa atin.
Ako personally, nagugulat kung paano ang isang napakatandang gusali tulad ng Gabaldon ay nagagawa pa rin i-preserve ng country hanggang sa ngayon. Eto nga, kanina pa ito umaaraw sa akin ng atensyon. Etong balustri ba ito? Feeling ko, original pa ito, sir. Tama?
Tama ka, sir. Actually, pag tinignan mo, kahit yung kinakatayuan mo, ay original na original pa yan.
Pati yung design.
Nakakaisalin na. Wala ka na makikita ka yan ngayon. Mga design yung ganyan kasi yung sinaunang panahon pa talaga yung pagka-design yan. Ngayon, wala na ganyan eh. Kahit may mga nandiyan. So, ito naman yung ngayon, call natin yun na ginagamit ngayon. Social holding ang tawag dito noon. Ito yung library na ginagawang library natin. Hanggang ngayon, kahit na siguro noon tuman ay ito na yung isang room na pinag-adapt para sa mga kagamitan ng estudyante, libro, teaching materials, nandito magazine para sa mga estudyante. Sa ngayon itong banda dyan, ginagamit natin para sa reading program ng school. Meron tayong tinatawag natin SRA o Science Research Associates. Yung isang banda naman dito, itong room na ito, proposal natin na ito ay mag-museum.
Saan po ito?
Ito yung tinatawag na bintanin nila. Sabay pa rin ito yung ang taas niya. Pag mainit, gaya ngayon, ay ito pa rin parang exhaust window para yung init ay lumabas pa rin para ma-maintain niya yung klase ng klima dito sa loob.
So, mahirap po ba na i-maintain ang isang gusaling isang daang taon na tulad ng Gabaldon?
May kahirapan, pero dahil nga sa tulong ng National History Commission na silang nag-finance nito, medyo na-maintain natin, naayos natin. Gaya limbawa ngayon, ano ba yung challenge ngayon? Sa ikot ka babagyo lang, natuklap yung bubong. Part ng bubong ay natuklap. So, After nun, hindi na yung cover ng nag-rehab, kaya sariling pundo natin. So yung ibang part, basta hindi lang kabuuan, ay napapaayos natin. Kaya sa ayos natin para din ma-maintain.
Sir, maraming salamat sa pagpaulak sa aming team. Sana hindi pa kayo mapagod sa paggawa ng paraan para mapanatiling nakatayo ang makasaysayang gusaling tulad ng Gabaldon na I'm sure naging sagisag na ng katatagan at pagbangon ng maraming estudyanteng dumaan dito. Ang ilan sa mga silid nito ngayon ay ginagamit bilang silid-aralan, opisina at klinika. Ang bulwagan sa ikalawang palapag ay ginagamit naman sa recitals, pagpupulong at iba pang pagtitipon. Mga bagyo at mahinang maintenance, dahil sa kakulangan sa pondo, ang naging pangunahing suliranin ng pamanang Bisaya. Noong dekada 70, sinira ng bagyong Sini ang bubong ng isang palapag na Gabaldon.
Batay doon sa Republic Act 166, hindi pwedeng basta i-demolish, baguhin ang istruktura ng mga heritage site. Now, as far as Gabaldon, pinagbatayan din nito yung nasabi kong Heritage Act na 166. Merong bagong nilabas sa panahon na ni Pangulong Duterte, yung Republic Act 11194. Ito yung talagang Republic Act na ang layunin lang ay i-preserve, i-protect, at saka i-restore, i-maintain ang mga Gabaldon. Nakalagay sa implementing rules and regulation na ginawa ng DepEd doon sa Republic Act 1194 ay hindi dapat binabago kahit ang kulay, kahit na kung ano ang purpose na una sa paggamit ng Gabaldon. Several years after ng centennial ng Kamhay noong 2002 ay nag-restore na tayo niyan. Although noong restoration, noong 2008 ba yun na restoration, wala pa nun yung Gabaldon Act, kaya naghanap pa tayo ng funding. Mabuti na lamang at yung Department of Education ay nag-allocate sa atin ng 10 million na budget. Kaya noong 2008, if I'm not mistaken, ay nagsaayos na din tayo nito. At ang yung sumunod na pagsaayos niya ay ito ng 2019. So habang nandyan ang Gabaldon, ito ay mananatiling simbolismo ng Camarines Sur National High School, ng Naga, ng Camarines Sur, at ng buong Bicol Region sa pagkakaroon ng maayos sa pagkatuto ng mga bata.
Paano na-renovate namin nung panahon akong principal? Na-renovate yun nang makatanggap kami ng notice galing sa DepEd na naghahanap talaga ng mga Gabaldon building for renovation. So, nagsulat kami, and then it was through Ma'am Lolit, the regional the director ng secondary education. So, nagsulat kami with the old pictures and with the intention requesting for the renovation, restoration of the Gabaldon building. Kasi ako, history teacher. So, talagang ang gusto ko, yung ma-preserve talaga yung mga historical sites at historical building. Ang Gabaldon building, may traces ng American period education. Yung education na binigay sa atin. Kung baga sa yung contribution ng mga Amerikano sa atin, isang malagandang halimbawa ang Gabaldon at isang magandang pruweba na talagang may ginawa ang mga Amerikano para sa edukasyon ng mga Bicolano.
Nagpapatuloy ang mga inisyatibo sa pangangalaga at pagpreserba ng Gabaldon Building sa kasalukuyang administrasyon na pinamumunuan ng punong guro ng paaralan na si Dr. Sulpicio C. Alferez III.
Naging malaking bahagi ang Gabaldon sa taon ng pag-aaral ko sa institusyon na ito. Sa araw-araw na pagpasok, ito ang bumubungad at bumabati sa akin. Naging hagdan rin ito sa pagka-estudyante ko sapagkat sa hindi mabilang na mga pag-iensayo, mga aktibidades na aking nasaksihan sa gusaling mismong ito. Dito ko simulang nalaman at natutunan kung paano magsalita sa harap ng maraming tao. Sa library hall, nagsalita sa harap ng General Student Council unang beses. Dito ko na rin na-identify yung character development sapagkat dito ko nasaksihan kung paano ako maging isang estudyante sa harap ng maraming tao. Ang gabaldon ay ang kamhay mismo. Sa lahat ng mga naibigay ng gusaling ito sa akin bilang estudyante, ay gusto kong maranasan at maibigay yun sa mga susunod pang henerasyon at sa mga libo-libo pang mag-aaral sa institusyon na ito. Ang gabaldon ay kamhay mismo, kaya mahalaga na ma-preserve natin ito.
Sinasabing ang pagpapahalaga natin sa ating nakaraan ay refleksyon ng pagpapahalaga natin sa ating kinabukasan. Kung mananatiling nakatayo ang mga gusaling ito, hindi na lamang sila sa mga aklat masisilayan ng mga susunod na henerasyon. Ang mga gusaling ito ay hindi na lamang basta gusali. Sila ay sagisag ng katatagan at pagbangon. Marami mang unos ang sumubok sa pundasyon ng mga strukturang ito. Ilang digmaan man ang dumaan, nananatili itong nakatindig. Ngunit mas mapaminsala ang bagyo ng paglimot. Kung hindi maipapasa sa kabataan ang mga kwentong nakaukit sa mga haligi nito, unti-unting guguho at mabubura ang kasaysayang nananahan dito. Bilang tahanan ng karunungan, hindi lamang kaalaman at karanasan ang ipapabaon natin sa mga mag-aaral. Ang mga gusaling gabaldon at ang mga alaalang kakambal nito, ang ating magsisilbing natatanging pamana. 1,555 successful senior high school graduates with their proud parents, competent members of faculty, administrative and support staff, honorable officials from the Division of City Schools, and the distinguished guest speaker, together in one momentous school event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 4th Senior High School graduation ceremony and the 104th commencement exercises of Camarines Sur National High School with the theme, Kalidad ng Edukasyon, lalong patatagin sa gitna ng pandemya.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, pelas ng sinangalan, alab ng puso, sa titig mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisikin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw. May nilagang tula at awit sa kaglayang minamahal, ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nanininig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidinig. Lupa ng araw ng walhati at sinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pagmay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Signore, mi rende un strumento della vostra pace. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Dove ci è odio, lasciarlo seminare l'amore. Where there is hatred, let me so love. Dove ci è verità, perdono. Dove ci è dubbio, fede, dove ci è desperazione, sperare, dove ci è la nerezza, illuminarsi, dove ci è la tristezza, to
Hello graduates of class 2021. On behalf of our Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Manny de Guzman, our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Cecil Ferro, the SDO officials, our school principal, Sir Sulpicio C. Alferez III, the Camarines National High School Administration, faculty and staff, parents, guests, I welcome you all in this 4th Senior High School Graduation Ceremony. Naging isang malaking hamon ng pagsubok ng school year 2020-2021 sa ating lahat. Ito ang panahong tunay na sinubok ang katatagan ng bawat isa sa atin. Simula sa pamunuan ng paaralan, mga guro at higit sa lahat sa inyong graduates. Sa pagbukas sa mga paaralan na walang face-to-face na klase, isang pangyayaring nagpabago sa kulay na mukha ng edukasyon. Isang hamong tumabog sa matibay na muog ng kaalaman at pagkatuto. Subalit, ipinanganak tayong mga Pilipino na sanay sa mga pagsubok at hamon ng buhay. Kung kaya't hindi man ganap ang kahandaan ng lahat sa dulot ng pandemya, patuloy pa rin ang buhay. Gumamit ng iba't ibang learning modalities upang masigurong ang bawat mag-aaral ay mabigyan ng pagkakataong matuto. Hindi man naging madali sa una, ang paaralan ay hindi tumigil sa pag-iisip ng maraming kaparaanan upang maging madali at magaan para sa lahat. Sinikap din ng inyong mga guro na bagamat mahirap, hanggat nakakaya, ang kaalamang dapat niyong matutunan ay maiparating sa inyo. Sabi nga niyan, hindi madaling tanggapin ang pagbabago. Subalit ang tao ay likas na madaling makaagapay sa sistema ng buhay. At dahil mabilis ang paglipas ng araw, namalaya na lang natin na patapos na pala ang taong panunuan. At ang lahat ng mga pagsubok ay ating ding nalampasan. Sa kabilang banda, may positibo ring epektong dala ang pandemya. Natuto kayong maging malikhain at maparmanaan simula sa pagsabot ng modules at activity sheets, sa pagpasa nito ng hard copy or soft copy. Natuklasan din ng iba na meron pa pala kayong ibang kasanayan or skill sa computer, paggamit ng iba't ibang virtual platforms at marami pang iba na hindi nyo noon ginagamit sa panahon ng face-to-face classes. Mas nagkaroon ng panahon na maging malapit sa pamilya sapagkat sila ang lagi ninyong kasama, karamay at katulong sa pagtuklas ng mga kaalamang gamit ang inyong mga modules at learning activity sheets. Naging masalimuot man ang karanasan mo sa pag-aaral, binigyan naman ito ng kulay ang buhay mo. Bakit? Sapagkat hinulma kayo ng mga karanasan ito na nagpatibay ng inyong paninindigan sa buhay. Nagpatatag sa inyong hangarin na makapagtapos ng high school. At ngayon ay namamayani sa inyong puso ang binhi ng kaalamang inyong natamo at handa anumang oras na itanim ito, alagaan at palaguin ayon sa inyong mga pinapangako. Graduates, despite the odds and everything that COVID-19 brought us, you remained resilient, strong, and determined to finish your senior year with flying colors. Feeling satisfied that all your efforts has paid off. And for that, our school, your teachers, as well as your parents are so proud of you. Congratulations.
To my fellow graduates, our school principal, Dr. Sulpicio C. Alferez III, our senior high school assistant principal, Ms. Melissa B. Bobos, Camarines National High School faculty and staff, parents, family, friends, and online viewers, a pleasant day to all. This school year was truly a difficult time for all of us. The COVID-19 pandemic hit us hard, and we were given no choice but to change the way we live. This includes our learning system as we shifted from our traditional face-to-face classes into online and modular learning. Because of this, we were given new problems and challenges to conquer. After 10 months of studying through online and modular learning modality, I would like to congratulate my fellow graduates as we completed another school year with flying colors. We all know that there were some students who struggled with this kind of system, and I would like to commend all of you for pushing through all the hard hurdles in this school. 6 years in Camha. Well, technically, there were only 5 years because of this pandemic. Nonetheless, these years were filled with bliss, laughter, all-nighters, breakdowns, and other roller coaster of emotions. We entered Camhay in our 7th grade when all of us were walang kalatoy-latoy and dugdugan students. We know a little bit of what the real world is. But look how far we have become. We are now young adults who have somehow grown up to become better persons. I am proud to say that in our 6 years in Camhay, we will leave this institution as better persons. We have our new stories to tell, new perspectives to share, and new ideas to flourish. We are armored with knowledge, skills, and values. I know that we were robbed of our last experiences in this institution. We did not have the chance to step on the grounds of Camhay and experience again the activities we normally do in school. However, we should not spend our time thinking all of this could have been moments in our 12th year of high school. We created 1,000 memories in the past years we spent in the spaces of Camhay. I would like my batchmates to think of the unforgettable moments we had in our school. Remember all the moments where we spent our flag ceremony in the quadrangle on the first day of classes. Our breaks where we had to push through the thick crowd just to buy our favorite snacks. Our never-ending ghost stories that we share with one another. The fun activities during Intramurals Week and many more. We created these moments, and I hope that we will treasure this as we face another chapter in our lives. Few months from now, we will start writing a new chapter of our lives. Some of us have already decided on what school and course we'll take in college, and some of us are still waiting for the results of our college applications. To all the graduates who are worrying about their college life, I would like to let you know that we will all get through this. We need to remove all the doubts filling our minds and remember that we are enough. Our efforts and hardships will soon blossom into acceptance letters from the colleges we applied to. Fellow graduates, let us congratulate our parents for all the sacrifices they have done to all of us. Our success is also their success. They deserve hugs and kisses or simply thank you from us. I would like to grab this opportunity to personally thank my family, especially my mom and dad, who have given their full support to me ever since day one. To all the teachers who worked hard to give us the quality education we deserve, we could not have done all of this without you. Thank you for making education during the pandemic easy and accessible for all of us. Your efforts in sorting modules, centering, distribution, and checking are all indeed a sign of commitment in providing quality education. Let us also not forget the school organizations that added more fun in our online activities. Lastly, I would like to thank God for giving us the knowledge, strength, guidance, wisdom, and courage that made us all through this difficult time. Let us continue building a strong relationship with our dear Lord as we move forward with our lives. I would like to end my speech with a quote from Taylor Jenkins Reid that says, "When you are given an opportunity to change your life, be ready to do whatever it takes to make it happen." There may be a lot of mountains and rough patches that are within our path of dreams, but we must climb and pass through this to reach the peak that we are aiming for. If you did not reach your goal this high school, remember that life goes on. It does not revolve around scribbled grades, gold medals, and printed certificates. There is a whole world out there waiting for us to show our burning passions. To my fellow high schoolano and high schoolana graduates, just keep on dreaming. Once again, thank you and congratulations to all of us. Basta kamhay, matibay.
Good afternoon. To our school's Division Superintendent, Mariano B. Di Guzman, CESO 6, I have the honor to present to you our learner candidates for senior high school graduation school year 2020-2021. Under the academic track, 113 learners under the accountancy, business, and management strand, 176 learners under the general academic strand, 357 learners under the humanities and social sciences strand, and 166 learners under the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics strand. For arts and design track, 45 learners. For sports track, 39 learners. Under the technical vocational livelihood track, 81 learners under the agri-fishery arts strand, 314 learners under the home economics strand, 137 learners under the industrial arts strand, and 127 learners under the information and communication technology strand. These learners have satisfactorily completed the requirements for senior high school as prescribed by the Bureau of Learning Delivery of the Department of Education. For your confirmation.
By the authority vested in me by the Department of Education as representative of the school's Division Superintendent, Mariano B. Di Guzman, CESO 6, and upon the recommendation of your school principal, Dr. Sulpicio C. Alvarez III, that you have satisfactorily complied the basic requirements in the senior high school level under the K-12 basic education curriculum prescribed by the Bureau of Curriculum Development of the Department of Education, I hereby confirm your graduation in the senior high school level of Camarines National High School this 15th day of July 2021 at Naga City, Philippines. Congratulations!
Good afternoon. It is with great pride and privilege to introduce to you our invited guest speaker for the graduation ceremony of Class 2021. He is an assistant professor and director of Partido Institute of Economics, College of Business and Management of the Partido State University. He is also the president, CEO, Asia-Wise Study Center Incorporated. In 2019, he was elected founding president of the Council of Program Heads and Educators of Economics in Bicol Region. In 2017, he was a research associate of the Ateneo Social Science Research Center and an assistant professor of Economics, Social Science Department, College of Humanities and Social Sciences of Ateneo Dinaga University. He was a lecturer in the Ateneo Dinaga University Graduate School and handled classes in the UP School of Economics. In 2012 to 2016, he held the position of Department Chairperson of the Social Sciences Department, College of Humanities and Social Sciences, Ateneo Dinaga University. Our distinguished guest speaker has likewise engaged in social amelioration program, value chain analysis, in disaster risk reduction and management studies in PSU. In response to the needs of the times He has led the CHnhs-funded regional training on module content development for business and economics education. In 2017, he was involved in a research on the pili nut and resin industry funded by the Ateneo Dinaga University Research Council. In 2016, he was the consultant and lead researcher for the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or the 4Ps. As a stimulus to Bicol rice economy, a research for the Department of Social Welfare and Development, funded by the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. In addition, he was the lead researcher for the study on migration and development research of Sorsogon City Government, funded by the Commission on Filipinos Overseas, and acted consultant and coach in the formulation of municipal tourism development plans of Metro Naga member municipalities. He has received his degrees in BS Business Economics and Master of Arts in Economics from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, and earned units in Doctor of Business Administration from the Ateneo Dinaga University. The class valedictorian of Class 2001 of our beloved institution, a loving husband and a father. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all give our warm welcome to Roland John Go Bulao.
Public Schools District Supervisor Dr. Michael A. Del Rosario, other DepEd officials, government officials, the principal, Dr. Sulpicio C. Alferez III, the assistant principals, for senior high school, Miss Melissa B. Bobos, for junior high school, Miss Gemma O. Corporal, for operation and learner support, Miss Lynn R. Brilles, department heads, other school officials, the 2021 Graduation and Moving Up Committee, alumni, parents, graduates, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Our job as leaders, teachers, and parents is not to prepare kids for something. Our job is to help kids prepare themselves for anything. According to A.J. Giuliani, English teacher, football coach, and K-12 technology staff developer in the US. Exactly 2 decades ago, in the same occasion, I led our class of 1,272 graduates in saying, "Salamat asin paaram po, Camarines National High School." Confident of the education we obtained from the region's largest and the province's oldest public secondary school, we embarked on our college years determined to pursue and realize our dreams. Fast forward to the present, most of us are now professionals, business owners, political leaders, overseas workers, scientists, artists, and the most important job of them all, working 24/7, fathers and mothers to our children. College and life in general have never been easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There are much more challenges compared to the ones we encountered when we were still in this institution. Life after high school is tough, but it doesn't mean there's no fun in it. In fact, there has also been a substantial amount of happy moments along the way. We were able to party, watch movies or concerts, travel to beautiful places both in the Philippines and abroad, dine at fancy restaurants, date someone, or, for some of us, as many as possible, join traslasyon and fluvial procession, work and participate in team-building activities in our dream companies or organizations, and many others. Even as technology changes our world drastically, our social activities stayed pretty much the same. Most of them are traditions we thought we could never live without. Then the pandemic hit. Suddenly, we can no longer party. We can no longer watch concerts. BTS armies can only imagine watching their idols live. It's now very difficult to travel. There are no more intramural games. Traslasyon, Fluvial Procession, Military Parade, Coyadores Festival, Christmas Party, High School Foundation Day celebration, and of course, graduation ceremony in flesh, face-to-face. A couple of years ago, there was no one among us who would have imagined a graduation ceremony like this. No one could even have predicted the following year and the succeeding ones would see remote teaching and learning as the norm. And no one could have guessed how some of us would lose a friend, a family member, a teacher, colleague, classmate, a neighbor, or practically any person we know from a pandemic. But let us not dwell on spilled milk, or what economists and accountants call sunk cost. Those what-ifs and all the opportunities related to them are gone and can no longer be recovered. Let us then focus on the present and the future. Given the things going on today, what is the best course of action for us? What would bring all of us to a much better future? With all the challenges we are facing because of the pandemic, we may find it difficult to hope for anything good. We have a health crisis, which has also led to an economic crisis. As a matter of fact, this is now the longest recession our country has experienced since the Marcos regime, when our company, or rather economy, shrunk for 9 consecutive quarters from the fourth quarter of 1983 to the fourth quarter of 1985. In layman's terms, business and job prospects are really bad right now. So, is there any hope of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel? We have a Filipino proverb that says, habang maiksi ang kumot, matutong mamaluktot. Cliché as it may sound, but we have no other choice but to try our best to make both ends meet. This is also true in the education sector. We have all experienced the sudden change in the way we do things. We had to quickly resort to modular teaching and learning. Because our internet speed is among the slowest in the whole of Asia, actually even slower than the poorest countries in Southeast Asia, a significant majority of both students and teachers could not regularly participate in online classes. Thus, most of us availed of printed modules which are periodically distributed and returned. We focus on most essential learning outcomes. What are the fundamental topics and skills our students should learn and master? I believe it is safe to say that many of us believed and still believe that this is not the best in our education system. Many would say things were a lot better when we were meeting face-to-face inside the classroom. But are we forgetting what many of us would also tell our students or children? Do not limit your education within the four corners of the classroom. Moreover, many people would say, experience is the best teacher. Indeed, our experience of this pandemic is teaching us a lot of lessons. These lessons are not only confined in the education sector. Our pandemic experience has been teaching the health sector, business sector, tourism sector, transportation sector, the government, the church, the non-governmental organizations, and many others some valuable lessons about how each of them do their respective mandates. In 1956, economists Richard Lipsey and Kelvin Lancaster published their work, The General Theory of Second Best. This economic theory suggests that if one optimality or best condition in an economic model cannot be satisfied, it is possible that the next best solution involves changing other variables away from the values that would otherwise be optimal. Put simply, in situations where the best outcome cannot be attained, given the circumstances, we are left to pursue the second best. In our current situation, our best setup of meeting face-to-face and maximizing our school year for an excellent mix of lectures, student-centered activities, assessment, educational tours, OJTs, and other enriching approaches is quite impossible. We are then left to carry out our second best setup with all its hurdles. With all the difficulties encountered, we still managed to enjoy quality education in the middle of the pandemic. How was it made possible? There's no simple answer. But apparently, we have been prepared for anything, not just for something. Our education system, pre-pandemic, has in one way or another nurtured and developed our survival skills during times of crisis. The world was caught off guard by the pandemic that started in China. Literally, when the Chinese sneezed, the whole world caught a flu. Fortunately, resilient as we are, Filipinos have managed to cope with the situation. The pandemic need not stop our chance to educate and learn. After all, our medical frontliners and vaccine manufacturers are products of quality education. In short, our modern-day heroes are better able to respond to the needs of the times because of the knowledge and skills they developed at school. Now, they are better prepared to learn the lessons from the best teacher, experience. In our very own land, all of us, DepEd officials, government political leaders, school heads, teachers, parents, students, and the private sector joined hands in ensuring the best quality education apt for the time of a pandemic. In a very short span of time, all of us had to decide on the best alternative mode of education. While what we currently have may not be the best, thankfully, we have the second best, which is still very effective given our current situation. In between our modules, we have been developing ICT skills, multitasking abilities, time management expertise, and a lot more. For example, I personally learned using many softwares and applications that are very useful for online classes. Our students likewise discovered so many apps and subject tutorials on YouTube. Most importantly, I believe, we have learned a valuable lesson about keeping our families safe and healthy, a thing many of us are guilty of neglecting in the past. We are reminded by this pandemic that at the end of the day, we study and work for our family. Now that you are leaving the school that provided you quality, free education in the past 2 to 6 years, you will be facing a whole new world of both opportunities and challenges. First off is deciding whether to pursue college or work right away. If you decide to go to college, you'll have to choose your university, and the university also has to choose you. You also need to decide on what course or program to take. For most of you who are going to college, online classes will be more of the norm, although printed modules are still available as an alternative. As part of tradition as your graduation speaker, I will be imparting with you some pieces of advice for a relatively smooth sailing college life. Allow me to share with you time-tested values that would be helpful as you embark on a journey called college or tertiary education. By the way, these are also the core values we stand for at HOI Study Center Incorporated, the small company my then future wife and I founded here in Naga City 14 years ago to contribute to quality education. These core values are summarized by the acronym ASCI. A stands for above and beyond. Do not settle for pwede na. Always study and work until you can say to yourself, pwedeng pwede. Study and work on your school requirements aimed at preparing you for better for life after school, beyond what is minimally required. Our medical frontliners, three of whom are my classmates, Dr. Grace Almenor, Dr. Jenny Young, and Nurse Temporo D, have been doing their best to fight this pandemic for more than a year now. They may be exhausted due to the rising cases, but they never give up. Like them, strive for excellence and make it a habit. Always go above and beyond. S stands for satisfaction. In microeconomics, individuals pursue a course of action in order to maximize their utility or happiness. So, When we decide what to take in college, let us consider what makes us happy. It would be a lot easier if you pursue a course that's within your interests. You can always do your best with what you do best. Thus, you will exceed the expectations of your professors. You will also bring forth happiness to your parents, the presidents of your very own fans club. Our engineers, IT experts, and BPO workers, like my classmates Alcantara, Lorenzo Bercasio, and Cherry Alvaro, have provided us with the infrastructure and tools necessary so we can still carry out our studies and work even as we stay home. Truly, doing your best in everything that you do, even after you finish your college degree, will bring you and your family satisfaction. C stands for cooperation. Many activities in college require working in teams or groups, more or less like in high school. You and your classmates are going to work together towards the fulfillment of all your aspirations. Teamwork is among the most important skills needed to excel in the workplace, not only in school. Thus, doing your own part excellently, combined with the excellent works of your team or group mates, will benefit not only your group but ultimately the world. Realize that medicines and vaccines used to combat COVID-19 are the fruits of the hard work of so many organizations across different countries. These medicines, vaccines, and other goods are delivered to different parts of the world through an intricate supply chain where some of my batchmates are a part of, like Mark Alvin Reboya and Steve Dibunao, seafarers, and Christian Castor, a mechanical engineer. Indeed, solutions arise from cooperation. Finally, I stands for integrity. Our world is a world of people, both good and bad. When given a chance to decide, choose to be good. In a world with many corrupt and evil people, be the role model of what is good in humanity. Most of us desire everything that is good, but it has to begin with us. As what Mahatma Gandhi said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. In the face of moral dilemma, choosing what is right becomes difficult. Amid the pandemic, there were many instances where some people could have chosen to grab the opportunity to gain so much profits. Still, many people chose to set up community pantries and extend a helping hand to the needy. I am humbled by the decision of my classmates to donate to the education advocacy of our One Venus class advisor, Ma'am Nitz Ubaldo. That's aside from our individual efforts to help others whenever and however we can. Indeed, the world becomes a better place when people live with integrity. So that's ASCI. Above and beyond, satisfaction, cooperation, integrity. With everything that is good and bad in college and beyond, it is important to hold these values dear. They will not only prepare you for something, they will prepare you for anything. To the officials, faculty, non-teaching personnel, students, and alumni of Camarines National High School, my beloved alma mater, happy 119th Foundation Anniversary. May we continue to work together to always deliver the best quality education for the total man. I am forever grateful to my teachers, club and school paper advisors, contest coaches, and everyone here in Csnhs. Salamat po sa onrang ini na makabalik sa padangat kong eskwelahan, asin makaibaliwat ang mga maestro, asin maestra ko. Thank you for this rare yet great opportunity to speak before the graduates of our beloved century-old academic institution. To this year's 1,571 graduates and their parents, congratulations! Mabuhay ka mo gabos, asin maging andam manlugod kita gabos, sa gabos na bagay, asin sa gabos na panahon. Diyos mabalos po.
Please raise your right hand for the Pledge of Loyalty. We, the graduates, conscious of the gifts and responsibilities which our education in the Camarines National High School has endowed us, do hereby pledge to be loyal to our alma mater, to our country, and to our God, to render service to the best of our ability to our fellow men.